Hi, my name is Vera Ramkisoon and welcome to my presentation exploring leadership in organizational context, focusing on servant leadership style displayed by Tim Cook, CEO of Apple. In this presentation, we will be looking at the introduction, organizational context, leadership approach and style, John action-centered leadership, leadership motivation and workplace satisfaction, and leadership recommendations. Tim Cook became CEO of Apple in 2011 after the resignation and later passing of co-founder Steve Jobs. Cook didn't originally start as CEO. He joined Apple in 1998 as Chief Operating Officer. He has now led Apple for over 14 years. Apple is one of the largest technology companies worldwide. They sell products such as the iPhone, Mac, iPad, AirPods, Apple Watch, and services like Apple Music, iCloud, and Apple Pay. They employ more than 160,000 globally and operate across the Americas, Europe, Japan, the Asia Pacific region, selling to over 100 countries. In 2023, Apple reported a total of 416 billion for 2025 revenue. They compete with Samsung and Microsoft mainly. The process of social influence used to optimize others' efforts towards a certain shared vision or objective is known as leadership. Even though it's frequently linked to senior positions like CEO, it's regarded as a behavioral talent that anyone at any organizational level, regardless of official power, may demonstrate. It is often acknowledged that effective leadership is the cornerstone of any successful organization. It acts as a multiplier, transforming potential into quantifiable outcomes by establishing the company's overall strategic direction and developing the internal environment. Although there are various leadership styles, Tim Cook displays servant leadership as he is known for building relationships with his staff and valuing their input. Referent power is perhaps Cook's strongest foundation inside the French and Raven structure because of his reputation, composure, and his principles. By creating a cooperative, sympathetic, and encouraging work atmosphere, he cultivates employee loyalty and trust. Cook's objective was to lead via service rather than fear. During one of the most challenging periods, his referent power and servant leadership kept Apple successful. Apple smoothly transitioned to remote work. Employees stayed creative and engaged, and the company continued to release new products and maintain strong sales. Not all leadership styles are perfect. Cook got major backlash during the pandemic as he pushed staff to return to in-person work for multiple days a week. Three overlapping circles stand for John Adair's action-centered leadership model, a straightforward, useful framework for efficient management. These circles are task, team, and individual. It claims that for leaders to thrive, they must continuously strike a balance between accomplishing goals, which is task, fostering team morale and cohesiveness, team, and developing members, individual. Task. Under Cook, Apple has broadened its emphasis not only on hardware like the iPhone or iPad, but also on services like Apple Music and technology innovation like adding face recognition on the iPhone X. In 2025, Apple reported around 109 billion in services revenue, up roughly 13.5% from the previous year. Team. Tim Cook has promoted a culture of cooperation, inclusivity, and a shared accountability at Apple. Through inclusive policies and employee resource groups, he supports diversity and equity and places a strong emphasis on open communication and teamwork. Although some challenges such as localized workplace pressures still exist, Cook's leadership style directly creates this positive culture by promoting cross-functional cooperation and togetherness. Individual. Tim Cook attends to the requirements of his staff on several levels in accordance to Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Apple ensures the workers' fundamental and safety needs are satisfied by offering competitive wages, extensive health benefits, and employment stability. Collaboration on cross-functional teams and involvement in LGBTQ employee resource groups help employees feel like they belong. By offering leadership positions, recognition programs, and the opportunity to high-impact products like the iPhone, Apple Watch, and iPad, Apple cultivates respect and esteem. Roles that enable workers to innovate, tackle difficult challenges, and work on cutting-edge technologies promote self-actualization. Despite all these initiatives, there are still some issues in high-stress corporate and retail settings, and more services for mental health and work-life balance could improve worker well-being. Apple may boost employee happiness and spur even more innovative results by increasing its investment in health initiatives and personal growth. By establishing clear objectives, encouraging teamwork, and promoting staff development, Cook exemplifies servant leadership by striking a balance between task, team, and individual requirements. Task and team demands occasionally take precedence in high pressure scenarios, such as COVID-19 or product launches, demonstrating his flexible, practical approach while preserving long term employee involvement and a positive culture. Motivation is the inner drive that encourages employees to achieve goals, while workplace satisfaction reflects on how fulfilled and content they feel in their roles. A leader practicing servant leadership influences both by prioritizing employee needs, supporting their growth, and fostering trust. This style enhances motivation, increases satisfaction, and shares a positive organizational culture rooted in collaboration, respect, and shared purpose. The organizational culture at Apple became more transparent, inclusive, and collaborative under Cook's leadership, which increased employee satisfaction and motivation by giving workers a sense of worth and inclusion. Tim Cook's servant leadership would demonstrate empathy, emotional intelligence, and a focus on employee well-being has had a beneficial impact on staff engagement and job satisfaction at Apple. Under his direction, recognition initiatives like Apple Fellows, rewards for his creativity, and financial rewards for exceptional performance are examples of motivators that use Herzberg's two-factor theory to encourage employees to perform well. Fair compensation, inclusion, and equal chances and a positive work atmosphere are examples of hygiene aspects that reduce discontent and foster a sense of justice. Although stressful periods can lower motivation, these strategies have improved engagement and promoted long-term retention. All things considered, his leadership style has promoted a creative culture which led to a motivated staff. At Apple, stories now emphasize innovation, sustainability, and diversity, reflecting Tim Cook's inclusive leadership. Rituals and routines. Regular product launches and cross functional teamwork reinforce collaboration and shared goals. Symbols. Apple Park and Cook's approachable leadership style symbolize innovation and inclusivity. Organizational structure. Teams work collaboratively across departments, encouraging shared decision making. Control systems. Performance reviews and innovation bonuses motivate high standards and creativity. Power structures. While executives lead strategically, employees have more input than in previous leadership eras. Paradigm. The core culture values innovation, privacy, sustainability, and employee well-being. With globalization connecting economies and markets more than ever before, the external business environment is becoming more unstable and changing quickly. From strategy to culture, these external factors, which may be examined using PESTEL, also have an impact on internal corporate processes. Leaders and their leadership style are essential for managing change and maintaining the organization's agility in such a dynamic setting. Kodak and BlackBerry were amongst the companies that struggled to adapt and eventually failed due to the delayed leadership. Visionary and flexible leadership can steer organizations through change, foster innovation, and guarantee long-term success, as demonstrated by Tim Cook. Cook can make mistakes. He can hesitate in serious decisions such as rapid supply chain adjustments. By adopting situational leadership, Cook could respond faster while maintaining his servant values. Similar strategies at Microsoft under Satya Nadella improve agility and employee engagement, showing benefits of resilience, culture, and innovation. In rapidly evolving markets, his emphasis on consensus can occasionally impede strategic innovation and risk-taking. Cook should use predictive analytics and data-driven decision-making to foresee supply chain concerns, technological advancements, and market trends while upholding the principle of servant leadership. This strategy, which Jeff Bezos successfully employed at Amazon, would improve Apple's adaptability and strategic vision while maintaining employee motivation and a robust corporate culture. Thank you for your time and attention. This is the end of my presentation.